I'm a Filipina that got pregnant at 19, got married, and divorced. Hi, my name is Brittany Amorsolo, and now I'm here to do Tabo Takes. If you get pregnant out of wedlock, then you need to get married. All right, this is kind of spicy. In my case, this was definitely true. I did get pregnant before I got married. So in this case, everything happened to me backwards. That's like the one rule, like in the household, like do whatever you want, just don't come back pregnant. And that's the first rule that I broke. And having an abortion was an option. Going through with a pregnancy and going through an adoption was an option. Getting married and starting that family was like the end goal of what, most parents or grandparents want for their children. My grandparents were really the ones raising me. For them, if I didn't get married, I would have been like another girl in the streets that was pregnant and abort it. Like, it's gonna be fine. Like, like all you have to do is go through therapy. I was terrified. I felt like I had the need to abort. I went to the clinic, I paid the $700, and then when they showed me the ultrasound, I didn't know that I was almost in my third trimester. And at that point, they said that the abortion would be at least, like 2 days or more. I felt like I couldn't do it, and then I had to tell my parents. I said, well, if like my parents aren't gonna be there for me, and the man that like I wanted didn't want me and the child, like this is the one thing that I have. This is the choice that I was gonna make that didn't have to do anything with my family, that didn't have to do anything about a man, that didn't have to do anything about getting married or whatnot. This is a choice that I decided that if I couldn't have better parents or better grandparents, I'm going to be a better parent. I'm going to be a better grandparent. And I'm going to stand up for my kid and try to beat that generational trauma. I dropped out of school, and then I got pregnant, and then I got married. It's made me feel like marriage is just like a piece of paper, and I know people may feel otherwise. That did put a lot of pressure on my ex and also, me and now my kids. And so that's where I had to draw the fine line. It's hard for Filipino parents to say, I love you. I don't even remember the last time my parents said I love you. This is so true. They'll do like weird gestures to show that they love you. It's always like food. The way that my dad would show that he loves me. If I told him I like one thing, like coconut crisp from like Costco, I was like, oh, this is really good. And I come back and this man has like 30 bags waiting in my room. There will always be cut up fruit in the fridge. There will always be something that he knows that I like somewhere. And there will always be an abundance of it. Maybe once in a blue moon, my mom will say, I love you. When she does, it feels like I'm choking up to say I love you too. And it's not that I don't love her. It's just we don't say it often. I know that they had a hard time growing up too. It's all right, even if they don't say it. I will still be appreciative of like what they do around or what I notice. Filipinos will not divorce because it's wrong in the eyes of the church. Ooh, that's true. When you go to the Philippines, like no one's divorced. If they have kids, if they get married, they just separate. They're still connected, but it's connected as in like hush hush. They don't believe in divorce because it's always like the woman's fault. Like there is no such thing as divorce. It's just you're not trying hard enough as a woman. You're not trying hard enough as a wife. You're not being there for the kids. You're not being there for your spouse. You're not rubbing his feet, like sucking his nose. I don't know, like whatever make him happy, whether he's beating you, slapping you, whether he's like a drunk. I've had a tough time in my marriage. They all just don't listen because at the end of the day, it's my fault. And at the end of the day, like no man can do no harm, at least in their eyes. They don't believe it, especially if you were married under God. How else you perceive yourself or how else you like go on from that, especially if that's your roots in the Philippines and then you're here in the States and it's hard to like pull yourself off of it. I owe my parents because they helped provide for me growing up. This is a tough one for me to really decide, but it's like a double-edged sword. Utang ng loob is like, it has such like a weird negative connotation to it because it feels like you're always gonna want something from someone. It's never to give out of the kindness of your own heart. It's never to give without expecting anything else in return. it's always just take and take. Unfortunately, like that's, you know, kind of what I grew up on. If we're talking about money, I feel like I don't owe them anything. And this time, I feel like I'm able to at least provide them with more memorable aspects. My mom's side, her parents passed away. And so with my mom, it's mostly just like me and her. I know she wants more time with me, and I feel like that's what I'm able to nourish for her. And that's what I'm able to provide for her, and I feel like that's a fair exchange. Filipinos are raised by their grandparents because their parents were not ready for kids. Dang, girl. Who writing these questions? You know where my parents met? Girl, they met at a club in LA, and that club is still open. Okay, I think this is, at least in my case, 100% true. They just both graduated, they're living their lives, and then, you know, I came along in that short year they're together. As much as I asked them if they are ready for me, and of course they're gonna say yes. It's the only respectable answer, but like through adult eyes, I knew they weren't. And their parents knew they weren't either. Hence why they raised me. At the end of the day, I think that I am so thankful for my grandparents raising me. On the weekdays, it was my mom's side. On the weekends, it was my dad's side. And I wouldn't have it any other way. They gave me the childhood that I you know, wish there was more freedom, but you know, they really loved and protected me. At the same time, I don't want to blame my parents. I did resent them. I mean, who wouldn't? Like, you have certain rules that you have to abide by, and then they are very hypocritical of those rules. But then they were growing up the same time I was growing up. My parents were in their 20s. Like, you know, it's like, if that was their route, if this was my path and that's what happened, it happened for a reason. College dropouts are never successful.
Hey, we have a mini Tabo Take for you. We're releasing our Tabo Take shirt for sale. If you believe in our mission to discuss important topics for the Filipino community, please consider supporting us, as proceeds from this merch funds content like this video. If you want to buy one, visit our website at www.one-down.com/shop. Thank you for your support, and now back to Tabo Take.
Oh, okay. Dang. You're really like drilling it in me, huh? As a former college dropout, you know, dropping out wasn't easy. You know, it's like I knew the risk I was taking. I knew the complaints that were gonna be made, and especially because I was pregnant, well, that's a double whammy, you know? I don't think that's true. Like, I'm starting off my career now. I feel like it is late. But then when I see other people accomplish other things at different ages, at different times, different paths, I can't keep feeling sorry for myself. Find that babysitter, find that support, go to the class. If this person can do it, why can't I? And that's what I started, and that's how it's going. And at the end of the day, my drive is for my kids. I mean, it's so cliche for me to say I want the best for them, and like, I want them to be the best to other people. And they're gonna go through those times where they may not be best. It's the fact that at least they can learn from my trials and errors and what I went through, and use the tools that I hand to them, and them further reaching out to other sources, and you know, whether that may be their dad, whether that may be their grandparents, as long as they have a well-rounded view of things, and they have those core values and morals at the end of the day. Hi, thank you so much for watching Tabo Takes. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's Taco Bell mild sauce and an X at the end. Just want to let you guys know that I appreciate you guys for watching the whole thing, listening to what I have to say. Just know that it's never too late to start, never too late to stop. Hope to see you guys next time.